Hello there everybody, and thank you for joining me in this video. It's been a while since I last made a video again. I apologise for that, but Nigel from the Muddy Boots YouTube channel, he's given me a nudge to make another video by selecting me in the what 3 things have I learned this year that is doing the rounds around YouTube. Now, and Nigel mentioned that I do podcasts, which is the bulk of my content. Every Monday night I put out a podcast and I will travel around to other people's allotments and have a chat with them, talk about what I'm doing on my plot, and go to shows, which is where I quite often see Nigel. Nigel's actually appeared on one of the podcasts, which I'll add the link down in the notes below if you are interested and want to have a listen to that. But what 3 things have I learned this year on the plot? Well, the first thing goes that I have learned how to dismantle and rebuild a greenhouse. Now, earlier this year I inherited my granddad's greenhouse. Not this one, this is my one at home, which I've had for a number of years now. But my granddad's one was second hand, it's older than me, dismantled it and rebuilt it. That went very well, but last week we did have a rather nasty storm which broke a lot of the glass panels, and that has also taught me that glass is expensive but the clips are very cheap. I've now managed to replace all the broken glass panels, and as I replaced all the panels I fitted in extra clips. I bought a load of extra clips. They are cheap, it cost me about £5 for 50 clips. The more clips I have, the less chance I have on the clips breaking in the future. That's my theory anyway. So that's been my first lesson that I have learned. My second lesson that I've learned this year, I've grew chickpeas for the first time in my life, and I've spoken about this quite a bit actually. They were a massive success. I proved that they can be grown. But I grew several plants in different locations. I had 2 plants in here in this greenhouse, and the soil in this greenhouse I've built up. I've got a decent amount of fertility in the ground. They didn't like it, they died in here. I also planted 2 in the ground outside of my allotment, and they did okay. It's been quite a warm year, which probably helped. But on the most part they did pretty good outside, but the best ones were inside Grandad's greenhouse down on the allotment. Again, the soil there is not the best, it's pretty poor, it's a clay soil, but it was how hot it got in there that I think really gave it the boost. I will certainly be growing chickpeas again next year. Now, my third thing that I have learned this year is actually a very easy one. It's to do with germinating carrots. Now, before I moved here, I never had problem growing carrots. I could grow carrots in pretty much every previous garden. But then I moved here, and again, I think it's down to this clay soil. I have struggled to get carrots to germinate. Follow them in the ground and I might get 1 or 2 out of an entire row of carrots. But this year what I did differently was I got some large pots, I filled those up with multi-purpose compost, and I sowed my carrots there. And you know what? They germinated, and I've got some really decent carrots out of it. That has also worked for parsnips and some pickling onions that I've sown down there as well. So all in all, that has been a rather success and a lot more of a learning curve this year. Now I've got to nominate 3 YouTube channels, and this was actually a very tough choice. Now, the first person is Bethan from Bethan's Kitchen Garden. I met her a couple of times. She's been on the podcast as well. She's always smiling, which is what I like to see. So I would like to know what 3 lessons Bethan has learned this year. My next one is Jen from Jen's Allotment Adventures. She's quite prolific in the Facebook group that I run as well, and on the Facebook page. And she's quite new to the scene, but she's got a lovely looking plot and she's learning. So what 3 lessons have you learned? My third choice is Steve, and Steve's helped me out quite a bit lately. Steve's YouTube channel is a bit on the small side. He doesn't do a huge amount of videos, and he has a very different take with his videos. But he has helped me out quite well, and I think it's only right that I repay the favour. I'm going to throw in a fourth person because this person is really working hard on getting his YouTube channel up and running. And that's Skinny Jean Gardener. Now, he also runs a podcast like myself, and you quite often see him at live shows on stage talking about his gardening journey and getting kids into gardening. Well, that's it for this video. I promise I will be doing it more in a not too distant future. I've got just finding the time has been my trouble lately. I have been snowed under, and all this video editing and shooting does take time. But stick with me, there will be a lot more, and I'm going to go back to doing the weekly videos. So that's it for this week. See you again next time.